Have you ever introduced yourself as having ADHD like 40 times in a row to strangers? I did last week, and it was rough. Are you overwhelmed by motherhood and barely keeping your head above water? Are you confused and frustrated by how all the other moms make it look so easy? You can't figure out how to manage the chaos in your mind, your home, or your family. I get you, mama. Parenting with ADHD is hard. Here is your permission slip to let go of the Pinterest-worthy visions of organization and structure fit for everyone else. Let's do life like our brains do life, creatively, lovingly, and with all our might. When we embrace who we are and how our brains work, we can figure out how to live our lives successfully and, in turn, lead our families well. At the end of the day, we just want to be good moms. But, spoiler alert, you are already a great mom. ADHD does not mean you're doomed to be a hot mess, mama. You can rewrite your story from shame spiral to success story. And I'll be right here beside you to cheer you on. Welcome to Motherhood in ADHD. So last week, I was at the Mom 2.0 Summit, which is a conference for online creators who are all moms and all the industry surrounding that kind of business. And wow, it was overwhelming. I totally got overwhelmed the first day and spent the night crying in my room by myself because I had prepared for a lot. I prepared like the presentation I was speaking, getting my family ready before I leave. I packed all my suitcases. I thought about what were my goals going into it? What did I want to accomplish? And you know what I didn't think about? The fact that this was going to be the first time I went into a large group of people and had the word ADHD on my name tag and introduced myself to person after person after person as someone with ADHD. And wow, was not prepared for that. And like my brain couldn't make sense of it because like I'm so proud of what I do. And I literally talk about this every day. And yet it was really overwhelming when I realized like, wow, this is because I don't know if these are safe people. Normally, when I am introducing myself and I explain what I do, I know that this person is going to be receptive, or it's just one time. And if they're not receptive, then like, oh, well, like move along. It's just one time. But it was only like one opportunity for rejection. This was the first time where it was like multiple people over and over and over and over again for hours. And that not knowing of whether or not this was a safe place to be myself was really a lot of energy capacity. Now, it turns out it was a very safe place for me to be who I am. And there were a lot of entrepreneurs with ADHD there. So shout out to all of you if you are listening. It turned out to be wonderful. But going in, I didn't know that. Thankfully, I have the self-coaching skills to walk myself through this. So even though day one was rough, and I cried a lot that evening, I was able to use my self-coaching skills. So like first I threw myself a pity party. Then I used my self-coaching skills to pull it together and refocus in on like, why am I here? And why am I doing this? And like, what's the point? The point is to learn like how to get this message out to more moms and help you. So with that refocus, I was able to jump back in for days 2 and 3. But I was lamenting this whole conundrum, pity party, what have you, with Megan on the hard days. If you haven't listened to her podcast, it's wonderful. It's for moms with neurodivergent kids. And we were talking about community and having a place to be yourself and talk with other moms who get you and understand you and are going through similar things and how valuable that is. And like also how we were meeting so many moms with either neurodivergence themselves or kids that had neurodivergence. And it was just like, wow, like so many of these moms don't have a community to be a part of. So many of these moms don't have anyone to talk to. And Megan and I were like brainstorming, like, how do we get moms to know that this community is valuable? This is necessary for us. We need a place to have support. This is what motivates moms like us, is creating these spaces for moms to have community. I mean, that is why I even started the retreat, is because 2 moms in Successful Mama Meetup said like, hey, I really wish we could hang out in person. And I immediately went, oh, I'm not organizing that. That's way too much work. I'm not doing that. Don't let that idea die. And it didn't work. The idea didn't die because that little seed had been planted. And while my immediate reaction was like, oh no, that's too much, that seed sprouted and it grew roots. And I realized like, this is a necessary thing. We need to be able to be in person and be around people who get us. And like, I love our online community. It is so supportive and absolutely wonderful. And like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I also want to be able to meet you in real life and sit across the table from you and see your face and your facial expressions and like know what you look like from the neck down, not just my little Zoom square. Like, I want to be able to sit by your side and hold your hand when you're telling me the hard stuff and give you a hug. We need that connection and we need that vulnerability, that space to be vulnerable where we know we're safe. That was one of like the most mind-blowing things to me is that when we got together last year for the first retreat, everyone just jumped in right away in being fully themselves, sharing all the stuff under the layers and being open. It's one of the things I'm most proud of is that everyone showed up as themselves. Mama J said, honestly, one of the best weekends I've had since becoming a mom. I've never felt so seen and understood. I would hop on a plane and go again. No hesitation. I'll follow y'all moms anywhere. Mama T said, gift yourself this opportunity to meet like-minded people, literally, make instant friendships, and the space to finally be yourself. I know, after being at this conference last week, is that it's really scary to go somewhere on your own and not know anyone. And I want you to know that this is worth it, and you're not going to feel like you don't know anyone very quickly. The group bonded in the first night. Like, I want you to be super confident in this decision when you decide to come. I want you to feel like this is a really safe choice for you. I don't want you walking in feeling like, oh, I don't know if this is the right decision. Like, yes, we're going to have like nervous butterflies because we're doing something new. But I want you to know that you are going to walk through these doors and feel welcomed with open arms, that these other moms are going to feel like you've known them for so long by the end of the weekend. It'll feel like you've met these people and known them for years because we all get each other. Even though we were a very varied group in ages, there were younger moms all the way to older moms. I mean, vintage moms. And we were all different cultures, different races, different religions, different economic backgrounds. We were a very eclectic group. And yet we all felt comfortable with each other because we knew and we know that we understand each other's struggles. And everyone came in with this vulnerability and openness. Like, this is kind of thing that you can't buy and you can't manufacture. It's because each of you show up and are willing to be fully yourself, because you know that's how I am with you. Like, we all walked in the door that way. And it was really beautiful to see, because it wasn't just me being vulnerable. It wasn't just me being welcoming. It wasn't just me offering support. Everyone cared and helped and supported each other. It was really beautiful. And I want you to experience that. I want you to know that there are people like that out there for you. I want you to be able to have like real life connections too. Because I adore our online community. Absolutely. And I want you to know that you can have that in person too. There's just something about being in the room with somebody and seeing them really for who they are. This retreat is for you if you have ADHD. And that includes if you suspect you have ADHD. There is no like show your diagnosis certification card when you walk in the door, or like you're rejected at the door by the doorman. Like, that's not a thing. If what I'm talking about resonates with you, then come learn about your brain. Try out these strategies and tools that make sense to you. Meet people who work like you do. You don't have to have an official diagnosis to be welcomed here. This is for you if you're a mom. Are you a mom? You in charge of the little humans? Okay, great. Come on. This is for you if you want support in your ADHD journey. Like, you are ready to do something different. You're ready to understand. You're ready to learn. Like, I know that like we're not all in that place. There was like probably a solid decade where I did not learn about my brain and I just dealt with it. It may have even been longer than that actually. But like, I've gone through that phase of like, I'm not researching this. I'm not looking into it. I'll be fine. We just make this work. But there comes a point where you're like, I'm ready to do something different. I want to learn. I want to figure out what works for me. I want to understand my brain. I want to feel confident in what I'm doing. I want things to be different. Not that you want to be a different person, but like you want to be the best version of you. And you're tired of the status quo and you're tired of it being the same old, same old. So if you want to learn how to be the best you with your ADHD brain and make your life fit you rather than trying to fit in this box that everyone else expects, and you want to lean into the way that you function, this is for you. Mama D said, this is a chance to invest in yourself and build a community that will empower your future. Worth it. And this is also for you if you want a break. You are ready for some rest and relaxation and refreshment and rejuvenation. Ooh, I love that those all started with R's. Like, this is a time for you to relax and enjoy like pouring into yourself because you deserve rest and care. You deserve to have a break. And we're going to talk more on that next week. Like, if you're feeling guilty about that, we're going to talk about that next week. You deserve to have some rest. You deserve to have a break. And when you arrive, I am going to take care of everything for you. When I say this is all inclusive, it includes all the decision making and the planning and the organizing. All of that is also included. Once you arrive, I take care of it all. I'm taking care of your hotel. I'm taking care of the meals. We're staying in a beautiful luxury hotel. You have the whole room to yourself, a glorious king bed where you get to stretch out and nobody's taking up space. No one's kicking you in the middle of the night. You can truly rest. Like, there's something about that level of rest when your brain is not like still kind of on because it's still like listening one ear out for your kids. You can truly rest in your fluffy, fluffy bed. I'm taking care of all the meals. We're going to go to some of my favorite places in Houston, get a little food tour, and you don't have to cook. You don't have to clean. You get to show up and enjoy. You're not cutting anybody's food up into pieces except your own. I want you to be able to have some respite from decision fatigue where you're not the one who's always on and you get to truly just enjoy. To be able to turn off that internal driver that's constantly pushing you forward of like, pay attention. What time is it? Gotta get somebody off to breakfast. Did you wake up so-and-so? It's time for a nap. It's time for lunch. Did you eat snacks? Oh, there's pickup. Did you start dinner yet? Oh, bath time, bedtime, homework. Oh, gotta pick up that kid from their job. Oh, extracurricular today. Forgot about that. Do you have all the stuff? Like that constant driver that's like, meh, 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 all day long. Of reminding you and like keeping everything on track. You get to turn that off and just enjoy. I want you to be able to rest. You will have space Saturday afternoon to do what you want. If you want to go get a spa treatment or you just want to take a nap, you want to go for a walk. But there'll also be activities together. You don't have to plan them. You just show up. And when you show up, you get to connect with other mamas who are also thrilled to have a grown-up conversation. Mama Kay said, this weekend was nothing short of a dream weekend come true. It was life-changing to learn, to witness, and experience the bonding amongst a group of women. I felt truly celebrated every moment. To bond with so many women, neurodivergent mothers, was truly a gift in itself. Only a mother could have thought of that many ways to check off the boxes. Treat, pause, relax. Check, check, and check. So far, I want you to have this because one, I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that there's other mamas out there who get you, that you can have a support system that is there to lift you up and nods and gets you. Like when you're like, man, I'm really struggling with this. And there's 4 other moms like, yep, you're not crazy. This is a real thing that you're struggling with and other people are struggling with it too. Number 2, I want you to have the opportunity for real life connection. Because there's just something different about being in person. Number 3, I want you to be able to rest, to have someone else take care of you. And the other reason I want you here is because I want you to have a chance to learn about your brain in a way that makes sense for you. I want you to have a way to learn that fits how you learn, that the learning environment is fit for you. When we do our conference portion on Saturday morning, and we learn about our brains, Teacher Patricia shows up, and it's not that teacher you couldn't stand. It's the one you hear every week who explains things in a way that you understand. And I set up a learning environment where you're like, man, I can actually learn this way. We're going to be diving into emotional regulation and how do you stay regulated or learn how to regulate at all in the first place. If this isn't a skill that you already have, I want you to know how you can take care of yourself so that you can be in a place where you can then turn around and help your kids regulate. Because chances are, if you have ADHD, at least one of your kids does as well. And how can you help them learn how to regulate when you don't even know how to regulate? I want you to know how to do this. How do you stay calm? How do you stay present? I want you to walk away knowing who you are, reconnecting with yourself, building the trust that you have within yourself. To me, this is one of the biggest problems with ADHD in those of us who were socialized as women, is that we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust our decisions. This negative narrator runs rampant in our brains and we don't even realize that we're the ones perpetuating it. Constantly reminding ourselves how we mess up and how we screwed up this. How could you possibly do that? You're such a mess, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff going on in your brain all the time, it doesn't have to live there. You don't have to let those thoughts hang out in your head rent-free. You can learn how to rewrite them so that you feel like you've really conquered confidence. That you can throw away the imposter syndrome or the negative narrator who's telling you that you're junk and learn to trust yourself again, or maybe for the first time. All of these link back to emotional regulation, in staying calm, feeling sturdy in who you are. One of my one-on-one clients the other day told me I'm magic because now she knows how to trust herself. She is so much more confident, so much more sturdy in the way that she views herself, the way she views her decisions, the way that she parents, the way that she just interacts in life in general. That is my ADHD superpower, is to look into you, find what you need to see and hear about yourself, and hold up a mirror and reflect it back to you. I don't create it. My magic is getting you to see it, to see what's already there. And to be able to do that in person with multiple of you at the same time, to blow up your confidence. How lucky am I that this is my job? I get to do it every day to show you what's wonderful about you, to help you see your gifts, to help you trust your decisions and believe in yourself. Don't get me wrong. I love teaching you all the strategies too, and how to be productive and how to actually keep up with your calendars and your to-do list and all that stuff. But the real magic is when you can believe you can do it, because I can teach you strategies all day long. But if you don't believe in yourself, it's going to take a whole lot longer to see a change than when you know you can do it, because you can. I have yet to have a client or anyone in my membership, anyone that I've worked with at all, to not see a change. It's in there, lurking about. Just perhaps you don't see it yet. And I want to help you see it. I want you to be able to see your magic, whatever that is in you, because that is why Mama J said that her husband was like, you come home a whole new woman, because she saw her magic again. She reconnected with who she was, took some time for herself, and remembered who she was, who she is. This retreat encompasses the 3 steps that I always tell you. 1, learn about your brain. 2, put on your oxygen mask first. And 3, ask for help. So just in case you aren't sure, this is your official invitation. I would love to meet you in person in October. If you have questions about anything, just shoot me a note. You can send me an email. You can message me on Instagram, post it in our Facebook group, ask questions, because I want you to be really sure that it feels good and that this is for you. But I don't want you to doubt whether or not you're included in this, because you are. I don't want you to get caught up in analysis paralysis or self-doubt or not trusting your decision on this. I want you to know for sure, yeah, this is for me and it's going to be awesome. Because it is. It's time to go get your ticket. The 2nd annual Successful as a Mother Luxury Retreat and Conference Weekend for ADHD moms is October 6th through 8th in Houston, Texas. Early bird tickets are available today. Officially, come grab one. Now, early bird tickets will be available until the end of May. So you have time to make your plans, figure out your childcare planning, booking tickets, whatever you need to do to prep, but grab your ticket before the end of May so that you get the early bird pricing. And so far, there's already 5 moms signed up because I did open it to my community first. I always give the moms who are already part of one of my coaching groups or in Successful Mama meetups, I always give you first dibs. So there's already 5 moms signed up, and you've got until May 31st to grab your early bird ticket. Now, you are welcome to sign up on June 1st, but it will no longer be early bird pricing, of course. And at the time I'm recording this, there are a couple of VIP social hours still available. Now, the VIP social hour is the option to come join me for a really small group of moms, either an hour before the retreat starts or an hour after the retreat is over. So either Friday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m., we'll have some snacks and hang out together, or Sunday morning breakfast. We'll have a little, a light breakfast, Texas style, and hang out either to kick off the retreat or to wrap up your retreat with just a handful of us to have some sweet time together. Now, I don't know if these will still be available by the time this episode airs, because I'm recording this about a week ahead of time. So when you sign up and you buy your ticket, if it's still available, it will pop up after you check out if you want to join one of those. Again, no pressure. This is for the mamas who really love that small group one-on-one time. Like, if you thrive in those small groups, like this is for you. Or if you just really want to hang out with me, come on. Come hang out for that hour either before or after. This is going to be a weekend full of beautiful community, and I cannot wait to hang out with you in real life. So head over to my website and officially grab your ticket for the early bird registration at patriciasung.com/ADHD-mom-retreat. Again, that's patriciasung.com/ADHD-mom-retreat. And I cannot wait to hang out. But more importantly, I can't wait for you to take a break and for you to feel supported and for you to learn about your brain in a way that makes sense for you. We're going to have a fabulous weekend. So mark it on your calendar, October 6th through 8th, and I will see you in Houston. For more resources, classes, and community, head over to my website, motherhoodinadhd.com.